Where? What's good, guys? Your boy with the Savage back again for another Savage Talks Live Smackdown review, 25th of the 4th, 2025. Here for a good time, not a long time. You already know the vibes. Mental health check. Hope everyone's good, taking care of themselves. As I said, I won't be here for a long time, but I thought I'd get this Smackdown review out because, funny enough, early consensus. I kind of enjoyed Smackdown, man. I liked it. It was good. There is a reason to why I feel like I enjoyed it though, and I know, and I think I've got like I think I've got the wave of how to enjoy a SmackDown show now. So I'm gonna give you that hint. I'm gonna give you that life hack as well. We're gonna go through it match by match. We'll cover it. We don't have to get into too much detail about every single match because every match wasn't incredible. Some matches are just matches, but still did a decent job. And then we'll get out of here because it's a busy Saturday. I got football on at the moment, but this match ain't too important to me at all. And then I got other stuff, El Clasico later on, if it continues. Connor Ben. I mean, yeah, no, it's you know, man. Eubank Jr., Connor Ben, and then we should finish the evening off with a HUGO online stream Q&A. So we'll see what happens there as well. So yeah, fun packed day, and I've got all my work in between that as well. But I'm not here to complain. I chose to do them jobs, so it's all good. Let me get to the comment section before we get started. Big up Anna. Thank you for the sound check. Always good. Big up Morris. Big up Hakeem. Anyone who comes in later on and catches on the the replay, big up to you guys. Love for the love. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, can you please dislike the video so I know what you don't like about it? Even leave a comment and let me know. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Now, and if you're on inside now, you're already going to be here for the next half an hour or so, then hit the like button. But I hope everyone watched SmackDown, so it's easy to follow along with what went on. Overview of the whole show. I don't think the SmackDown was amazing. I'm going to put that out there. And I do believe that part of the reason why I probably enjoyed it was the fact that it's when things have been so bad, bringing stuff up to a decent level instantly makes it feel like it's way better. You know, like if you had ugly girls your whole life and that, then a decent girl might seem like she's fire to you, innit? You get me? You know, like when you're in prison and well, I ain't been there, that's what I'm saying. But, you know, when people are in prison and that, they're liking the ugly screws. I hear it, man. But I did like it. And I will say, if WWE can continue to put out these kind of SmackDowns for the rest of the year with a little bit more backstage kind of like stuff, like storytelling backstage and weaving stuff throughout the show, then I think they can do it. I think everything in ring was good today, even matches that I didn't care about. But let's get to that because it was an anticipated SmackDown. It's the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and it's a SmackDown where at least with Raw they've got like a day and then they're back to work. Whereas SmackDown you've got a whole week to think about what you're gonna do. So SmackDown after Raw, even though Raw's the flagship show, SmackDown should always run a little bit smoother in my opinion. And I do believe that hopefully when they get back to 2 hours, I actually think we can have a nice concise SmackDown show because there's some filler in this one that's not needed. But I do understand the ads, I just don't like it. So that's when I said to you that I had a bit of a hack to how to watch SmackDown. What I actually did this time, I just left it. I left it and I watched it once it had finished. So as soon as it had finished, I got up and I just watched it right at the end. Because then I was able to skip all the ads and it was amazing. And then I realized like I already knew that the ads was such a problem, and then the extra hour, even though they finished earlier today's one. Yeah, you sort that out. You watch it. Well, I mean, you won't be around enough to see spoilers because you're literally watching it as soon as the main show's finished. Or you can get it halfway through and then you can skip it. But the only problem is if you get it halfway through, you start skipping it, you'll end up catching up with the main show. So my advice would be half an hour left of the show, jump in then, and then you can run it back from there. And trust me, it helps out amazingly. No WWE don't want to hear that because their adverts are there for a reason, for advertisers to advertise to people, big up Scooby, and then they could buy whatever products on the adverts. But let's be honest, man. People who are going to buy those products will buy them, and people who ain't going to buy those products won't buy them. It won't really make a difference. So I think that's the wave to get through these shows, because I don't want to be dissing the show every single week when really it's just the timing and the way it's the pacing of the show. So let's get to the how the show started. The show kicked off with John Cena coming out to the ring, 17-time world champion, fresh off first time on SmackDown as a 17-time champion, and we know that John Cena was a SmackDown guy early doors anyway. Um, Obviously came out to his new and improved entrance, not the music, but no vignette. It's everything's black and white. I actually like it. I actually really like it. I feel like they tried to make it dull on purpose because he's on this quest to kill wrestling. But the fact is, I don't know about everyone else, but the simplicity of it actually, to me, it makes it look better because it makes it look like it's important. Um, I feel like what was I say? I feel like Walter had that, and he did, and then it changed to Gunther. But I feel like the simplicity of just his name in big writing, it made everything seem very important. It took away all the bells and whistles, so I did like that. But he came out to address the crowd, and then mid speech, Randy Orton came to the ring to challenge John Cena for I was going to say WrestleMania Backlash, but they've actually changed it to just Backlash again now, which is good because I always feel like if you call it WrestleMania Backlash, then everyone's expecting a hangover from the previous WrestleMania show, which isn't a good thing if you want to start um, new things. So yeah, and I agree. So yeah, Ciampa's Blackout one was cold. He had no entrance music as well, did he? So I didn't mind that at all. These two went back and forth. They're seasoned pros at this point, so their promos are never going to be completely terrible. I think apart from Randy's one a couple of weeks back when he just came out to show Cody how much he loved him. That was a weird program, but this was decent. They went back and forth with each other. These two have been in. Put it this way: if John Cena when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, um, there's a big chance that he could induct him, Randy Orton. When you think of John Cena feuds, Randy Orton's right up there with bigger than JBL and bigger than The Big Show and bigger than The Rock. It does seem like that's the kind of person they would go with. So, yeah, I think that's pretty dope. I think that's decent promo. Randy Orton was speaking to John Cena about leaving a legacy and telling him that, listen, it's almost like we're in an alternate universe where I'm the good guy and you're the bad guy. And I actually didn't like the fact that he addressed that, only in like a minor way, but I don't really like where wrestlers kind of allude to the heel and face and the bad guy and good guy thing, and unless like their characters like Razor Ramon, that kind of bad guy is completely different. But even with like Roman Reigns, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy. But when you address it like that, it makes it sound like you're trying to break the fourth wall, as in, yeah, as if I'm a baby face and you're a heel now. Okay, we get it. Told John Cena that he needs to have some kids, leave a legacy behind. And then John Cena stepped into his bag in this promo and he said, "Why would I have kids, man? I've been taking care of these kids for the past however many years, and I've raised all of their kids." And then he just started going off on people in the crowd, pointing at little 6-year-olds and cooking people's parents and this dad there and that kid there. I ain't gonna lie, this was a John Cena promo I actually enjoyed. I quite liked that. They obviously continued their spat. He challenged him to his match at Backlash. And then John Cena approached to like leave the ring, and then he tried his little heel move. He threw the belt at Randy, and then started attacking him. It didn't work out in the end. It backfired, and he got caught with RKO. Of course, he did. I'm getting a bit fed up of John Cena being left in the ring, looking at the lights, considering he's the champion now as well. We had it 2 weeks in a row with Cody. Now we've had it 2 weeks in a row with Randy Orton. Because if I'm correct, didn't Randy Orton get him on the last show as well before Mania? So. Don't make that a thing because it just makes John Cena look weak. And obviously, he's here to ruin wrestling and that, but that doesn't mean he's stupid all of a sudden. You know what I mean? John Cena's smart enough to just roll out the ring. He knows that there's an RKO coming at some point. So I don't think they really need to do that. But still enjoyable segment. It was long, but it is what it is. You know, they tried to burn a bit of time. And I think they went into the third hour of, was it advert free? Like I said, I wouldn't have noticed. I just heard them say that at the beginning of the show. So yeah, it was decent. Oh yeah, and then I had another Savage appearance on the beginning of SmackDown. Yeet. Okay. At least I know that they're not annoyed by the stuff I say on the channel because, yeah, I mean, surely they wouldn't be showing my face on there because I've said some, yeah, Maybe they respect it, man. Who knows, but either way, I don't give a shit. Blood. Big up for throwing me on there, innit? Even if it is 3 seconds. Moving on, we had a Smackdown call up to this tag team. Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, and Axiom. You already know what time it is. They finally arrived on the main roster. I think it's settled now. I think they're a part of the main roster. They lost their titles to Hank and Tank a few weeks ago. Well, maybe 2 weeks ago now. Obviously, I always assume that once they lose their titles, they'll be next up on the way to the main roster. They're very good tag team. Almost a throwback to just exciting tag teams like that. It's always going to be worrying for me, but I'm trying to be more positive going into this new wrestling year after WrestleMania because honestly, like the negativity gets a bit like tiring sometimes. I'm not going to pretend. So if I see something I don't like, I'm just going to say it. But I just can't be the fact that it's something that's entertaining me or something I'm choosing to watch for my entertainment and it's bothering me. It makes me feel stupid because it's like I should just not watch them in it. But then you almost feel cheated by putting so much into the brand and the company so much. But it is what it is. They came out. They had a match against Garza and Berto, and I think it was a really good match. Very very fun match. I feel like especially if you're in attendance and you're a kid, all the high flying stuff will look as really cool to you. And even as an adult, them things can still impress me because the balance and the way they put the body on the line is pretty dope. So big up to them. They got the victory. And yeah, man, there we go, man. Fraxium, they are part of the main roster now. I know there's supposed to be a draft coming up soon. I don't really put too much stock into the draft until about 4 weeks after because they seem to just have a draft and then people can go on to whatever brand they want. But I feel like they need to go back to making the draft more important again. That way, when we get to Survivor Series and War Game, if there's not a story built in already, we can just go SmackDown versus Raw and have it like that. So probably gonna need to go down that route again. And then maybe whoever gets the victory for whatever team, the pin victory gets a number one contenders shot for their whatever championship. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes further down the line. But I feel like that's what I'm gonna try not to do as much now is look too far ahead of where stuff can go wrong. Let's look at the short term and maybe like 1 to 2 pay-per-views ahead instead of next year's Royal Rumble and stuff because so many things can change from then. But yeah, Anna's right. Dude, Fratzim was solid. Great match, not one-sided defense all over the place. Good fun to watch. Yeah, I think for them, it's building stories on it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very aware that even when I was growing up, tag team wrestling had less stories on it than the rest of the roster. But it didn't. But it fit in because there were stories everywhere else. So then you could just fit in the tag team, and the tag team stories end up being just in the ring, which is fine. You know what I mean? It ends up being the best tag team and stuff like that. So let's see what they can do. Let's bulk up that tag team division. Let's make it seem a lot more important than it has been. And we'll get to the main event later on with Street Profits. But I feel like having the right champions in this current era at this time in 2025, I feel like it's very important for all the champions that have their titles, every single one of them, big or small, that they add some importance to what they're doing and don't wait for the company anymore. Don't wait for the company anymore. Yes, you're limited to what you can say on the roster. Like you're limited to what you can say on TV because obviously it's been recorded. You got directors, you got editors and stuff like that. But your social media is yours. You don't have anyone telling you what to do on there. Just don't say anything too hellacious. I would use it, make it more important. Maybe you have to spend some of your own money sometimes if you need to, but if you want to get to the top of the roster and make a brand of yourself as well. So if WWE ever get rid of you, you've got a brand. Do that. I feel like that's the new era now. That WWE don't seem to want to make big superstars anymore. They want everyone on the same level. Okay, so you're gonna have to make yourself a big star. And the proof's in the pudding. All the big stars that are there, they've either done something extra in the ring, backstage, or used their internet or done something. So good match, good win. Don't think it really affects Garza and Berto because they lose so many matches anyway. But yeah, let's bulk up that tag team division. Moving on from there, we had Tiffany Stratton coming out to address the crowd after a WrestleMania victory over Charlotte. Big win for her. She addressed it. Her dream opponent was Charlotte at WrestleMania. She came in, she beat Charlotte, and now is the time for Tiffany to capitalize on what's happened. And otherwise, it was all for nothing. So I do like that the fact that she came out and addressed this. The whiny voice was still there. It's Tiffany time, but I feel like for Tiffany, she needs to believe in her own ability and maybe stop, maybe not rush stuff so much. You're the champion. The company believe in you, so you don't need to prove anything to anyone. So take your time with your words. Speak how you want to speak. Speak how you actually speak. Because when she's calm in podcasts and that, she sounds great. So there's no need to go overboard with it. But big up, Chang. While Tiffany was in the ring, Cargill's entrance music went off. The crowd, big pop for Cargill actually when she came out. So that's nice to see that the crowd is still behind her as well. And yeah, she kind of just let Tiffany know that she's on the radar as well. That's what she wants. She gets into the ring with her, and then they're gonna have their match in it. So I like the fact that they done this. I kind of knew once that she challenged her to a match and it wasn't for the title that obviously somebody's going to come out because Tiffany's not going to lose this match, and making Jade lose a match on SmackDown is going to make her look weak. And of course, that's because we had an attack from Naomi in this. Obviously, disqualification straight away, instantly. And then, yeah, when I will say this was quite funny. I know people are going to clown it as well. Naomi, when she got in the ring and attacked Jade, she started doing these like wild punches and that what weren't really punches, but I kind of just saw that as her being unhinged. I don't think she was really meant to be throwing like these proper digs and that. It just seemed like she was out of control, attacking Jade, attacking Tiffany, and that. And then obviously her leading away from the ring to get away when Tiffany approached to get back in the ring because she had been thrown out. We had an attack from Nia Jax on Tiffany. She beat her up. She flattened her bonsai drop, and then picked up the title. I didn't like this. I feel like there was a part of this that was good. But there's a part of it I was like, I didn't like it. Nah, no, that's my point. I don't think it was meant to. I don't think it was meant to be proper slaps, and I just feel like she was doing the unhinged crazy thing because she was not that stupid to not know that. Yeah, it's not really hitting her like that. And to be fair, Jade wasn't selling that part. It was almost trying to cover herself up, but it's not that important. The fact is that she looked crazy. She was screaming while she was doing it as well. Proceed with caution and all that business. I think she needs to calm down with like you don't have to keep saying to everybody proceed with caution because it ends up being a bit of a cheesy tagline. Um, yeah, I hear what you're saying Anna, about Jade and the but it doesn't listen. I'm just aware of how this company moves right now, so I'm just taking it as it is. And who knows, man? The way they seem to be behind Tiffany, so even if they put Jade in that main event line, she's probably going to lose anyway. So one thing they done well with is they didn't, even though it's a bit of a crap, but they didn't bring Jade in and make her seem invincible straight away. AEW had her on a long winning streak, whereas this one is like, nah, she's already lost matches and stuff like that already, so she's not invincible. And they already kind of allude to the fact that she's kind of green in what she does. But the only reason why I didn't like this, and bear in mind, it's not to do with the women as such. That was fine. We saw backstage as well that Naomi and Nia Jax weren't in cahoots. She just backed out the ring and Nia turned up because Nia kind of told her to stay out of her way, and then she was like, "Yeah, safe, just proceed with caution and all that." What I didn't like about it was seemingly if it's not going to be a fatal four-way, which is probably not, or it might be a tag team, which we don't need a tag team between them because one of them is a champion, unless it's the tag team on the main on SmackDown or Raw instead of it being that pay-per-view. The thing that I didn't like about it is we've seen Nia and Tiffany, and that seemingly that storyline is dead in the water. Like they made it seem like it was dead. Tiffany cashed in on her. Nia had a rematch. Tiffany won. It seems to be over, and we never heard anything from Nia after that. Really, she wasn't on WrestleMania. She wasn't on anything to do with the build up to WrestleMania. So it kind of, if Tiffany beat her and injured her, and then Nia came back, that would make sense. But the fact that she didn't, she just beat her clean. Very strange to me. Also, this is not me picking on Nia in it because I actually think Nia's got way better since she returned to the WWE, and I don't like the fact that people are on the internet dissing women all the time. So this is not about that. All I'm gonna say is she's a Samoan, family ties, Yokozuna, bonsai drop. The bonsai drop's not good, and the reason why the bonsai drop's not good is because she's so nervous about hurting her opponent to what happened previously, and people kept getting onto her that she almost takes everything off the bonsai drop to protect the person. But then it looks rubbish. It looks like she's landing on her feet and then putting a bomb on somebody. You need to kind of like time it so it's all together, and you take, you know what I mean? The person's gonna have to hold some of the, they're gonna have to hold some of the drop. It's not a move where you can just get out of it and you don't feel it at all. Um, but I just don't like it. Visually, it doesn't look good. It looks weak. And then obviously when she finishes it, she goes back into making it look strong by crossing her arms and sitting on you. That looks great. The part before the bonsai drop looks great, but the bonsai drop itself doesn't look very good. And in turn, it actually makes the person who's underneath Nia look stupid more than anyone because she's selling something that clearly isn't that painful. So I hope they can change that up and stuff, but probably won't unless somebody tells her. It's not for fans to tell her any stuff. We're just speaking. Somebody in the main roster, maybe a Triple H something's gonna have to tell somebody that, yo, that move, it's a painful move in that, but it doesn't look good. Maybe change it to somebody else, something else. So hopefully they do that and it changes. Big up Morris said, looks like we might get a fatal 4-way backlash on us. They go Tiffany versus Nia and rematch. Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. But I hope not, because like I said, it seemed like they tried to separate it once they left with Naomi and Jade and Tiffany and Nia again. But you're right. I think they'll go tag team match first, more than likely. Nia and Naomi taking on those two. And then from that, there'll probably be a mix up in the tag team where one of them cost each other something. The fact that Naomi told her to proceed with caution and all this stuff, and then make a fatal 4-way of it. The only problem with that is we'll go on to the later match where it kind of seems like the same thing. But yeah, man, it was all good. I don't know. I don't know. That's not for me to decide. And that's for the creative team to decide. I guess they've not put her on. She wasn't on SmackDown. She's not injured, so I don't know. Maybe she was away for a long time with her injury in the first place. Maybe they do a full revamp. Who knows, man? But we'll just wait and see. Because seeming like the Adam Pearce, I know Nick Aldis didn't go through this, but the whole rematch thing is a bit of a myth, and it seems like it's a rematch for some people and not a rematch for everybody else, which is fine. It's wrestling. I'm aware of it. So, moving on from this segment, we had LA Knight and Drew McIntyre voicing off in the ring. Now, if I'm correct, don't want to be stupid on this year. Yeah, we did. I was thinking then. I swear, did we miss the solo? And no, we didn't. There we go. Okay. LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. I actually like this. This was a good promo. I like the way they sounded off with each other. It started off with Drew McIntyre, I think, coming to the ring. Or was it LA Knight? One of them first, but Drew McIntyre's point was very valid. Drew McIntyre is one of those people that seem tapped in with not the online fans, just fans in general. He seems to think a lot like how everyone else does. So maybe he does get a push in the title picture at some point throughout the year. I think he's got a bit of time on his side anyway. But a lot of talk, man, between these two. Drew McIntyre addressing, saying that he was about to go after he was going to come out and go after the WWE title, and now that Randy Orton's jumped ahead of the queue, I can't, even though I've beat Randy Orton. And then he's kind of just alluded to the fact that all the people that he's beat keep jumping ahead of the line of him. Obviously, LA Knight just cooked him up because it's LA Knight stuff. But yeah, decent promo, man. And then they make it. I think it was Nick Aldis kind of put an end to it early, because Solo and not it started. Wait, actually, come to think of it, no, it started off with Solo and Jacob Fatu. Obviously, it's his first approach since winning the title. I did like the Jacob Fatu and Solo little segment. Solo was basically, he brought him to the ring and started bigging him up, but then he started bigging himself up, saying that like if no one wanted anything to do with him in the family, I brought him in, I put him in this position, I did this, and then Jacob Fatu took the mic off him and gave his regular promo, which was pretty good as well. And then we got the approach from LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, and just as they're all about to face off with each other, Aldous comes out and he says, "No, we'll make a match for tonight. Basic number one contenders match between these two to see who gets to fight Jacob Fatu." Didn't say it at Backlash, but I guess that's what they were going with. And then Drew McIntyre's like, "Yeah, fine, that's cool with me." Bit cheesy how they did that part when they ended it, but it's cool. They backed off, and then we go into later on in the night. So we had a backstage segment with Bianca, with her fingers wrapped up because she broke a couple of fingers, and yeah, whatever, decent. And she just said that when she returns, she got some unfinished business, but didn't seem to be alluding to Io or Rhea Ripley. So chances are it's probably to do with Naomi and Jade, but we'll see. Bill Morris said, "Do you think Bianca's injury should return at Backlash and come after Naomi, seeing as she said about coming back on unfinished business? Would it make sense?" I'd say that's the right way to go. I don't know. I don't know because I don't. The only reason why I don't know about that whole thing is because if I'm correct, and you have to let me know, I'm pretty sure Naomi hasn't put any hands on Bianca till now, innit? She hasn't, and Bianca's had enough time and ample time to do something to her. Obviously, it's that original part where they addressed each other in the ring. I don't know if she comes back and goes after Naomi, then that's what heel would do, innit? And at the moment, they haven't changed her yet, and Naomi's already a heel. So, if for example, if Naomi attacked Bianca already and then she came back, that's a little bit different. But just to return and go after Naomi it's a bit weird, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. We move on from there. We get Zelina Vega taking on Chelsea Green, which is because it's pretty much Zelina versus Chelsea or Chelsea versus Michin week in week out, or Doudrop versus Chelsea. I mean Doudrop versus Zelina or Doudrop versus Michin, or Alba Fire versus Michin or Alba Fire versus Zelina. That's literally the United States Women Division. That's how it goes week in week out now. I've been a big fan of Zelina. I feel like she's underutilized because she can actually talk on the mic and she's good in the ring. The only thing I will say about Zelina is she's really small in it. Like, I know that her and if she stands next to like someone like Alexa Bliss, they're like around the same height. Yeah, I mean, or Nikki. Like these are like the 5 foot ladies. But Jesus Christ, man, anyone else even a little bit taller, like she looks absolutely tiny. Even the backstage segment when she was talking to Adam Pearce, no, Nick Aldis, I'm like the size difference in them. But we did get this part where I was so confused about the rules in wrestling. The referee saw Doudrop grabbing the leg of Zelina, and then he was like, "Hey, I saw you." Then he saw Alba Fire do it, had grabbing her head, and then he was like, "Oh, you know what? Both of you two got to get out of here now." I'm not mad because Zelina ended up winning in the end, but I'm a bit confused the fact that surely it's a disqualification, isn't it? Which means the match would be finished, Zelina would win the match, and Chelsea would keep the title. Some reason the ref didn't do it. I'm sure some WWE official will tell us that it's their discretion or something like that. And if it is, maybe you should start telling people that and telling it's the referee's discretion. It makes it seem a bit more believable because he literally, what's his name, Ryan Trent. He was literally watching. He was literally watching the whole thing happen unfold. So I thought that was a little bit strange to be honest. But little distraction. They got sent out. Chelsea tries to hit her in the rope with the move. She gets reversed, goes in code red, and then we have the pin from Zelina Vega. And she is the new United States champion, which is quite funny considering I was like, if anyone heard my words, which we'll go on to next anyway, my words a couple of weeks ago was, I wouldn't be surprised if Alistair Black returns and then they get rid of Zelina. Not because I want her to go, just because that's how WWE seem to work. And we already know they have them Wicked Wednesdays, them Dark Wednesdays where they get rid of people. Usually in April as well, so tax year and that, I get it. Bill Morris said she was focusing on the world title, but don't forget when she walked off, Naomi called her ungrateful bitch. They could have worked off from that and get her to get. Yeah, but my point is that getting you get back when you're a babyface when no one's put their hands on you is kind of stupid, isn't it? Like, I agree. But then again, if she was a heel, then there would be two heels. But it's kind of a bit of a mad one. But she's gonna have to address it as a babyface. She's gonna have to address it in terms of like, I need to have a match against her instead of attacking her or anything like that. So that's what I meant. Not sure about Zelina being US champion. You know, she's good on the mic and she holds her own, but man, I don't know if she needs to. She's gonna. The thing is, like, the only reason why I disagree is because I'm being deadly serious. The WWE don't treat the women's US title important anyway, so it doesn't really matter who has it. At this point, it's fucked. Like, I'm pissed that they took it off Chelsea just because you could have gave her a Mania moment on the weekend and then took it off her if she was going to do that. Yes, she looked she didn't look extra weak in it because there was a distraction. But let's be honest, man. Up until now, I don't like the Secret Service. I think they're a bit strange. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Just run Zelina in it. It's probably not going to be a great title reign. I hope that she can change something. She's probably going to do a lot of cosplay and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know what to say on it, man. You heard my views on them titles before WrestleMania. Like now, it is what it is for WWE. Same with the Intercontinental title as well. They need to make it more important. But if they let Zelina run her own character, yeah, I mean, Latina, New York, she can run that easy, man. She's great on the mic. So, and that's all what matters is how great she's on the mic and what she can do stories. Because in the ring, who cares, man? Like honestly, who cares? Apart from her being so small, like who cares what goes on in the ring? Like sell a good story. Most of our favorite wrestlers have got 5 moves, man. So it's not the in ring stuff. She can sell that. But the fact is, they didn't make it important anyway. So the fact that they didn't make it important means that it doesn't even seem as bad them taking off Chelsea, which stinks. But at least she was the first US champion in it, and she'll probably win it back. Moving on, and this was directly after as well, which was pretty cool. So they probably saw each other in gorilla position as well, give each other a little hug and a kiss. Beautiful thing, man. They brought the boy home. There's not much talk about in this segment. They brought the boy home. This segment started with The Miz addressing the WWE crowd after he had handed Carmelo a Andre the Giant memorial chain backstage. It was Andre's head, which was kind of funny. And he was like, "I'm him now." That chain's going to be used to if he keeps that chain on him. That chain is going to be used to win a lot of matches. I'm convinced. You know, like the chain gang John Cena padlock. I would keep it on him like that. And then he was like, "I'm gonna go out and get mine." He went to the ring. Miz got a great promo. When Miz is on it, he's on it, bro. And his promo made complete sense. I wasn't even on the WrestleMania card, and I beat John Cena at this WrestleMania. I'm a Grand Slam champion. They said there wasn't no space on the card, but Kevin Owens got injured, and who did you pick? You picked, you know what I mean? And I like the fact he did that because he was right. He was right at the end of the day. And then he kind of went into this tirade and like no one in the locker room could do what I can, and anybody I'll take on anybody. And then at that point I knew it was going to be Alistister Black. Now let's just separate the fact that Alistister Black coming out doesn't even do anything for a story apart from he'll probably have a full match against The Miz next week. And you know, if they're going off what Alistister Black used to be, he just wanted to pick a fight, and that's kind of what it is. So this seemed like just a way to get Alistister Black back in the company, kind of like what they did with Rusev as well, where they just put him against anybody. Doesn't make him look strong or weak, but he looked cool as hell. He's got his entrance music back. He's got the whole levitating kind of coffin entrance back. The candles were there. He looked cool as hell. He said no words. He kept the one eye. What he had from that started in WWE, and then it went over to AEW, and him and Buddy Murphy continued it. And now he's still got the one eye contact as well from having the damaged eye, which I like that they've kept that there as well. And then yeah, cool as hell. Got in the ring. Miz was still talking. Took off his jacket. He all went silent. The Miz tried to attack him. Got caught with a black mass. Night, go sleep. And that's all she wrote, man. And like I said, from this segment, it's just good to see the boy home, innit? So let's see what they can do with him in the future. Let me see comments. I bet when she came out of Gorilla, she announced the Black with was awesome. Exactly. Alba and Piper are being wasted. Yep, they should just be away from Chelsea as a tag team if they're gonna do that. Or there's enough titles. The thing is, there's enough women. There's enough titles now. So you're gonna need tag teams for the tag team division, but also you're gonna need people to go for the Intercontinental title. Maybe I'm going to give WWE some grace, and let's just say that when that draft happens, they'll split a lot of people up, and hopefully they think about it logically with the amount of women they've got on the roster, the amount of men they've got on the roster, and how many belts they've got, and separate it accordingly. You know what I mean? So, because away from people going for storylines with the tag team titles and all that stuff, you need tag teams who ain't going to win to fight week in, week out as well. So, I know we're supposed to forget Alba, part of Unholy Union. Alistair Black returned, loved it. The entrance, the music chills, such a black and gold flashbacks. Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, Miz wearing all white. Remember Island Man, she's using her time traveling in Europe and posting on the gram. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Let her live her life, man. These like make their money and don't get to spend it traveling because they're always working. So just let her live her life, man. Like, it is what it is, man. Let's not pretend that she made some impact on the main roster. She didn't. It's sad that she lost her job. They called up them two from NXT. Alba Fire is the better wrestler, way better, but Isla's just good to look at, really. So, yeah, I mean, just don't know what to do now. Anyway, good to see Alistair Black back, man. Then moving on from there, yeah, man. So we have this match between Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. Decent match, but then it all goes to pot, doesn't it? All goes to pot. It's chaos ensues in this match. We get interferences from all over the place. Damian Priest interferes in this match, and Jacob Fatu interferes in this match. And listen, we know it's leading. This seemingly looks like it's leading to a fatal four-way between the men. That's what I said about when you mentioned the ladies earlier in the fatal four-way. I'm not trying to see two fatal four-ways at Backlash, but this will have some importance on the US title because we've had this before with the Intercontinental title. Where we had like Finn and The Miz and Seth. When you can make, or we had Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. When you can make the titles feel more important, yeah, that's the way to go. So yeah, at least it made these people look strong. I don't even know who lost the match properly because Solo got involved as well. Spiked LA Knight, threw him back in the ring. I like Drew McIntyre how he sold the fact that again, which what we've been doing for the last year. I don't really want to. I don't really want to be going for this pin cover, this cover when you're the one who helped me. But fuck it, I'll go for it. And then he goes to the Claymore, and then obviously we get the interferences and stuff. And Jacob Fatu's left standing tall. He absolutely flattened everybody in the ring. He looked strong. He stood tall, and I feel like we probably got about 2 to 3 months of Jacob Fatu being a supposedly heel before he's a full babyface. So I guess they're probably going to use Solo to turn him. But he's going to be a full babyface. The fans love him too much. The fans love him way too much. So all the catchphrases, they want to hear him speak. They want to cheer him. Every time he does a move, it's one more time. No one's angry at him. So unless he goes and takes out some beloved person, which there isn't big babyface anymore, they're going to cheer him. So you turn him, you just listen to the fans. You turn him babyface. More like a tweener than anything because he's not going to be happy-go-lucky. I'm signing all your stuff, but that's the way you're going to have to go through, innit? And we've had great stuff like that. There was a lot of interferences on the show. Yeah, there was. Drew challenging for the US title scene is crazy. The slow down finish. Nah, man, I think like let's try. I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to be more positive about this stuff, innit? Because I feel like we do that too much as fans. At the end of the day, there's only a few allotted spaces, and him versus Jay makes no sense because they ran that so much, and he's not going to go after John Cena's title, as he said right now. So maybe down. So then, if you look at it as just a US title, then it sounds like that. But the US title and the Intercontinental title in 2025 are the same level as belts. It's basically like there was best of just making 2 Intercontinental titles and saying there's one for Raw and one for SmackDown. There's the same level. So for me, don't see a problem with it, and that's what you have to do if you're not in the WWE title picture. You're best off being in another top picture than just going after nothing. And he's the one out of everybody on the roster that has been running storylines week in, week out. From Seth to Priest to Punk to the whole bloodline. He's the one who's been putting in the time. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, this is definitely looking like it's going to lead to a fatal 4-way. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Someone's going to ask for a one-on-one. Who knows? Who knows? But still decent in the way it was done. And Fatu looked strong in that segment. And then moving on to the main event of the show. Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, and DIY, a triple threat tag team ladder match. This was good. This was good. Like, it did feel like it should have been on the WrestleMania card. The only grace I can give WWE is it went about half an hour, and on the WrestleMania card, there was never given them half an hour for this match. Now, they could have took some stuff out and had like 6 matches on one of the cards and got rid of one. But no. Now I'm thinking of the different moments that they weren't going to do that. The only match they could have really removed was AJ Styles and Logan. I'm not even sure if that was on the same day, but very decent in what happened there. I love the match. They had everything. They went for it. Again, it felt like a lot of the stuff what I was seeing was like, yeah, this will be a great WrestleMania moment. But it ended up not being. We had ladders, we had tables, we had a prosthetic leg used from Montez. We had like these mad spots. We had a spear off the top of a ladder through a table. We had like this thing where Montez had to climb up and Johnny Gargano tied him in the ladder and super kicked him while his head was hanging off. We had everything in this match. They sold the hell out of this story while it was in there. And to be fair to them, even though it's not a story that like I'm really excited about or was excited about, they did build a little bit of a story within the tag team division between these three tag teams. Now, it's obviously we understand it's not Bubba Ray and Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and all that, but it's something in it, and I feel like they really Street Profits they've made a point for the last year of not being recognized and not being utilized, considering they're one of the best tag teams. And now that they're the tag team champions, I feel like we'll get not these kind of matches every week, but I feel like the importance will get back there as well. And hopefully New Day can do the same thing on Raw, and we can get these tag divisions back to where they need to be important. So people are forgetting that we had a WrestleMania where the tag team champions main evented night one of WrestleMania. So we've gone from that to this. So I'm here for it. Hanging Spear from the belt spot was wild. Yeah, it was crazy. You know what's not mad? Even they are wearing new gear, which I imagine originally made for us. Yeah, they had the I did like Montez's gear was cool, man. He had the cowboy hat and he had the Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid outfit on. Yeah, he looked dope, man. So big up to these tag teams, man, because at the end of the day, all these high spots and ladder spots and you're putting their body on the line for the sake of entertainment, and I have to appreciate that. I think they did the best of what they could. They made a great main event. Sad it wasn't on WrestleMania, but they've made their own moment here. The Montez Spear will go down in history. We'll always see that again. Montez taking the man's perspective. He's not even like a plant. He's a fan in the crowd who gave him the leg, and he just used it and gave it him back. I love that fan interaction. So that was the WWE Friday Night SmackDown, the 25th of the 4th, 2025 review. It was good. It was a good SmackDown. Nothing crazy, but that's fine. But very good SmackDown, and let's keep that going from now on. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's not let it drop, and let's not be lazy. And then hopefully we can get really good SmackDowns again. That would be pretty dope. Heel Profits just hits as faces. They didn't grab me, but as heels, yeah, I agree. But big up to everyone inside. I'm going to get away now because, as I said, I didn't want to be here for a long time. And this match has gone to I'll be watching because this is going to the halftime, which is where I wanted to jump off. When I'll be back, resting Sunday, tomorrow. Don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow. Not sure yet. But Hugo Online later on, Q&A, nice chilled one. Sit back, lay back vibes and that. I'll try to see what the man them are doing. If they're not doing anything, then we'll just run a little hour on there. Probably be later on in the evening. So I'll put a post up on the community post of this channel so that people can go over, because otherwise, as I said to Morris yesterday, there weren't much people there. But I guess if I'll try out today. If there's not many people in there, I'll sack it off because I'll have to build that channel up a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I haven't scheduled it. It's going to be later though. Probably around the same time we did the WWE stream yesterday. So I don't know what time that was, 9:30 or something like that. Maybe those times. Let me just check the El Clasico time because basically it's at the end of it. If the El Clasico does get cancelled though, then I'll put it on earlier and I'll just let you know. But the post, just look out for the post on it. Why does it take so long to show me the matches? Okay, so El Clasico's on at 9, so yeah, probably around 10 times and stuff like that. Or I'll just do it before, maybe at like 7. If you like down, maybe 7, maybe I'll do it earlier. Maybe I'll do it at 7. I'll just make sure that none of the man them are doing the stream at the same time, and then we'll run it then. Because at least if it's done at 7, it'll be done by like 8, half 8, and then you can have the rest of the night then instead of trying to watch football and do the stream. So, but big up to everyone inside. It's love for the lovers. Thanks for turning up. Go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you are in the world. Go take care of yourself. Go stretch your legs, get some walk, and get some water in your system or something. But yeah, man, you already know.